Everybody, and welcome into today's episode of Cooking with Ken. I'm your host Ken, and today we are going to add in the eggs. We're going to drop them gently into the water so we don't burn our fingers, and we're going to let that come to a boil. Now I'm going to add a little bit more water here. Let that come to a rapid boil. You can see off to the left right here a dish I worked up earlier today. It's pork and carrots and pork and beans and a little bit of secret sauce. Very good. Mrs. K really liked it. So I'm gonna let that boil. I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back in a little bit. So as you can see now, our eggs are boiling. The water is boiling. I don't think the eggs are boiling. I didn't really pay that much attention to the time to see. And I have no idea how long an egg should boil before it's considered to be done. I guess it depends on how you like to have your eggs. So I'm going to let this boil a little bit longer and then we'll get to the next part of this. Okay, so I think the eggs are done. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the stove. And I'm also going to do something. I highly recommend you do this no matter what kind of stove that you have. If you turn the burner off, put a pan of water on the burner to help dissipate the heat. The water will absorb the heat, and put enough water in it that your pan doesn't dry out and catch fire. I have an electric stovetop here. I can do this with gas. I can do this with the coils. I highly recommend it. Now I'm going to take my eggs from the stove. I'm going to move it over to the sink. We're going to put the pan in the sink. And there are several different ways you can do this. I don't know which one's better than the others, but cold water's running. I'm just going to run the cold water in there and cool down the eggs so we can crack open the eggs. Anyone that's been paying attention to the live streams and the after stream Zooms will know what's coming next. And that's all I got to say about that. A little bit of prep work going on here. I still got the eggs cooling over here in the sink. Got my cutting board there for what's coming up next. Gonna let these eggs get cool where I can crack them open without them falling all apart, and then we'll go from there. Well, by the way, I did want to point out the reason you put water. You can see here, even though it's off, you can see there's bubbles. It's creating that much heat. So if you don't have anything here, that heat's going to go elsewhere, really cause some problems. I figure you don't need to see my pretty smiling face. It hasn't changed. Well, let's give it a shot and see how this is. All right, here we go. I'm going to shut the water off. I think it's fine. I'm going to drain it. Pretty sure one of my eggs, by the way, is actually bad because I keep seeing air bubbles pop up. There's no one real easy way to do this, and I have to from time to time look to see what's going on. I'm just going to take 2 eggs and kind of tap them together. I've seen people use knives. I've seen people smash them like this. Well, that one's rock solidly hard. Of course, I could go get a golf club, put it on the ground and hit it. I bet you that would crack the shell. Make sure I'm recording. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to peel them. I'm going to peel them over here in the sink. Hopefully they're cooled off enough I can peel them. And again, I don't have any idea how this is being recorded or what. Hopefully it's looking pretty good. And I'm old-fashioned. I peel them, crack them open, grab one of the cracks, and just gently pull it away. I've seen people show hundreds of different ways of doing this. My guess is, depending on what you're cracking, depending on why you're making boiled eggs, as long as you're satisfied with how they look, then what difference does it make? That's pretty good right there. That got completely cracked. Now I'm gonna rinse it off and put it over here. Now, if I get all 4 of these to crack like that one did, or peel like that one did, I'm going to be genuinely impressed, because I usually do not have that kind of luck. I usually have one that will always fall apart. It never fails. Historically, I always have one that will not peel the way they want. A lot of people peel their eggs in water. I've tried that. My hands get cold. I'm a big baby. That's 2. Yeah, oh, that one showed signs of maybe gonna fall apart. But I think I'm going to get lucky. I think it actually is going to peel relatively. That's 3. I'm down to 1. No, that's not a good sign. Yeah, this one's gonna fall apart. I got a bad feeling on this one. I'll be doggone. It didn't fall apart. All right, there you go. Moving on. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the dangerous element here, a knife, and Mrs. K and I are going to enjoy our eggs that I just made. I'm going to cut them open. One in there for her. Now this one I'm going to do a little bit different. And I want to check to see something here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. This one, we're just going to slice this one just like that. Why I've seen people do that, I don't know, but there you have it. Now we have our boiled eggs. 3 for me, 3 for Mrs. K. Add a little butter, add a little bit of salt and pepper. Mwah! Very, very good. Thank you for watching. I hope someone has learned something for this. Hope someone enjoys what I'm putting out. Most of all, I hope everyone realizes this is not serious. This is comedy, or at least I'm trying to be. Thank you for watching.